All right, so this is Ricky Bandejas interview for SureDog.com. Ricky, we're only like a week away from a big fight, Bellator 222. You're facing undefeated Patrick Mix. Talk about how it feels. You're fighting in Madison Square Garden.
It feels awesome. You know, Madison Square Garden is the mecca of fighting, boxing, MMA, and it's nice regionally. I'm from Jersey, so it's within the tri-state, not too far traveled, and all the friends, my supporters, fans, it's family good to go.
Yeah, so you mentioned not too far to travel. You're from Jersey, right?
Yes.
I don't know if Bellator is doing it on purpose, but I feel like I'm interviewing all the Jersey fighters because they know I'm from Jersey. But so obviously, so around on the East Coast, especially in Jersey, I mean, a lot of fight fans know you from your days in CFFC. Obviously, Bellator has been pumping out the highlight reel of you handing James Gallagher his first loss. Do you think you're going to be able to replicate that on June 14th?
I'm hoping, man. I'm going to go out there and definitely give it my best. Hopefully get back in that win column while we're at it.
So, are you you still train out of Nick Catone MMA?
Yes, still at Nick Catone MMA in Burton, New Jersey.
All right. So I would imagine you guys are all excited. I mean, so you guys cross train a lot with Almeida's and all them, right?
Yeah, we're one big. Carl Almeida and us are pretty much one big team.
Yeah, so it's just crazy how many guys from New York and New Jersey, I mean, just the East Coast, Connecticut, that they have on this card. I mean, I know Bellator usually does a good job of that, but I mean, you mentioned you got a lot of friends and family coming up. When I spoke to Darren Caldwell, he said the same. So, I mean, like, how big a crowd are you bringing in from Jersey to the Garden?
Easily 300 people. You'll see about, T-shirt, 300 T-shirts saying Bandejas.
Wow, that's crazy. So
I'm excited. It's a good one. Let's hope we win.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, how are you feeling? It's like I said, it's only a week away. How are you feeling? Like, how's camp going?
Everything went great. We're on track, right to plan. Just got to lose some weight. Other than that, stars are aligned. Now we just got to go out and execute.
So, like the week of the fights, obviously, there's media and there's a lot of stuff to do leading up to it. Is there anything? I mean, obviously, because of where it is, do you feel any additional pressure going into fight night?
No, I don't feel no pressure. The only pressure I put is on myself to get back to the win column. Other than that, and hopefully get the finish. But other than that, none of that stuff. Media, friends, family, local shows, big show, that doesn't bother me. Yeah,
I mean, you've been doing it for a while already. So, like, I don't know if you saw after. So I mentioned how they're sending that highlight reel out of you handing Gallagher his first loss. Is this is that the first time that you've handed a loss to an undefeated fighter?
No, I think I got 2, maybe 3, possibly 4 zeros. I took maybe 4, I think. If you look at my record, I'm always fighting. I'm always trying to fight the best. I'm 4-0. I know one time it was 4-0 versus 4-0. We ended up knocking that guy out. So we definitely we fight a lot of guys. I always have one. They have one loss.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering because you said there's no pressure, but obviously your opponent's undefeated and the venue and everything. I mean, when you think about obviously New Jersey's history in the sport goes back further probably than any other state, because we were like the first ones to have it professionally legal. And then, New York is relatively new to the sport, so I was just wondering if any of that got factored into your training, or does it just motivate you even more?
Yeah, no pressure. If anything, it puts a little more fuel in the tank, gets a little fire going, but it's no added stress.
So if when folks ask you, like when you first started training and stuff, I mean, what would you say is your biggest strength when you're fighting? I mean, there's always the jiu-jitsu guy, wrestling, boxing. Like, what's your biggest strength?
My biggest strength coming up was wrestling, It kills me. I hear some interviews with guys at Bellator, they say that, like, I'm a good striker and I have good stand-up, but everybody tends to forget. my first 6, 7 fights, all I did was wrestle a guy, take him down, beat him up, get him tired, and finish him. Amateur, all I did was just take people down. I have really good scrambles. You could see an Archuleta fight, a couple of takedown defense. So people I guess that's a good thing, people are starting to think I'm a stand-up guy. So I just have to become involved.
Yeah, I mean, the shot you caught Gallagher with, you did that right straight, and then you did a lead leg side kick. I was actually I wonder if, growing up in Jersey, you had to take at least a couple of Taekwondo classes when you were a kid, right?
No, never took any of that.
Oh, wow.
I didn't sign up for any mixed martial arts until I graduated high school.
Oh, wow. So you're just natural at it.
I guess I had a call for the side kick, especially.
So, do you work like boxing and striking stuff with Mark Henry and those guys too, or no?
No, I strictly work under Nick Cotoner. He's my strength and coach, wrestling. And then I'll tag in for people for jiu-jitsu and stuff like Sean Santella has been helping me this camp because he's a black belt. He's really slick on the ground, and that's pretty much it. If I need guys, we'll find them to help box and spar, depending on who we're fighting.
Yeah, it just seems to be very popular in New Jersey, just guys cross-training at different gyms. The talent pool is very deep when it comes to wrestling and gyms that train for combat sports. So, what do you know about Mick's coming into it outside of his undefeated record?
I know he's tough. I don't think he ever lost his amateur either. He'll be the first tall guy I fight. Everybody's significantly shorter than me. Southpaw, I think this is the second southpaw I fought. And I know he wants to get to the ground, and he has really good submission. He's looking to get your neck and choke you out. Is that,
were you saying it's the second southpaw? Was that an issue for you for the first one? Did it bother you?
No, I don't think so. And, this camp I've been doing nothing but sparring with southpaw, so I'll definitely be ready for that.
Cool. It seems like I wonder where the stigma comes from that people say that. If you train for it, I guess it shouldn't bother you that much. Are you natural? I guess you're naturally an orthodox fighter.
Yes, that's correct.
So when it comes to your striking, just because I watched a couple of your last fights, do you think are you like a leg kick guy? Like obviously you got the high kick on Gallagher, but do you just fill in the holes where they leave him, or how would you say is your Muay Thai boxing?
I guess I like to throw. Definitely, a lot of guys at gym say I'm unorthodox. I like to throw, kicks from wherever I can, throw my hands wherever, knees, whatever I see an opening for. Like Archuleta, we call it a big knee. It depends on what the guy does. I feel comfortable pretty much throwing anything though.
All right. There's got to be. Have you walked by the Garden since you got the call for the fight and checked out the promotional stuff they have?
No, I haven't done any of that. I have Googled though, the inside of what it looks like on fight night. So really excited. I'm pumped up for it, and something I could chuck up on the to-do list.
Are you gonna? Obviously, it's going to be a big deal. Every time Bellator comes to the Garden, or any MMA promotion for that matter, for all the fight fans on the East Coast, it's always a big deal, and they're stacking it pretty well. Are you going to? Do you post stuff on social media, like training footage, hype stuff, anything like that?
Yeah, I like to. Now that it's been close to the fight, I like to post more into social media and stuff. My wife thinks I need to post more. I never really had a following, so I just started getting a following. So, sometimes you got to remember, not everybody wants to see your kids all day. They want to see you training and fighting. So, my wife says I got to cut this shit out with the kids. So, I'm working on it. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, no, definitely. Do you think the following spiked when you got the win over Gallagher?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I just was a regional guy from New Jersey, just beating up regional talent, and then after that fight, I think I had 2,000 followers. Now I had 12 or 13, and people, my name is relevant, and let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah, definitely. Just real quick talking about that, because they're showing the highlight reel on social media. Gallagher called for a rematch, but it looks like he moved on, and you moved on past that fight. But if it presents itself, are you down for the rematch for that?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that'd be awesome. I would, if I get the win here, I would have no problem fighting Gallagher. And I think they said they're going to Dublin in September, so I think that would a lot of fight fans would love to see that, me versus him in his hometown.
Oh wow, yeah, that would be. I mean, that would be something. That would be something for sure. So, all right.
Absolutely.
Ricky Bandejas, thank you so much for the time. I'll let you get back to it. And Bellator 222, June 14th, Madison Square Garden. Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, and enjoy your weekend.
You too.